Welcome to Winds of Change, a virtual celebration in song, presented by the elementary students of Dearborn Heights Montessori Center. My name is Kirsten Renas, and I have the honor of teaching music to your children each week. Even though we cannot all gather together in person, we're delighted that you could join us from near and far for this special program. Tonight, we will explore American music from times of change, as well as music used to make a change. Some songs will be performed by only our younger students, some songs will be just our older students, and some songs will be performed together. The upper elementary students will also be using their new ukulele skills to accompany themselves and the lower elementary children. One reason we make a change is for accessibility. At DHMC, when we learn the national anthem, we also learn one of many versions of the American Sign Language lyrics. Not only does it help us remember the song, but it makes our performance more accessible to members of the deaf community who use ASL. Please welcome the DHMC upper and lower elementary students as they sign and sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Sometimes change can be used for harmony. In the song Make Up a Rhyme, we have a lot of fun changing the endings of famous nursery rhyme to something much more silly. Here is the lower elementary class singing Make Up a Rhyme.
Make up a rhyme and say it on time and throw it out the window. Make up a rhyme and say it on time and throw it out the window. The window, the second story window. Make up a rhyme and say it on time and throw it out the window. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men just threw it out the window. The window, the second story window. Make up a rhyme and say it on time and throw it out the window. Mary, quack and cherry, how did your garden grow? With cymbal bells and cocktail shells and throw it out the window. The window, the second story window. Make up a rhyme and say it on time and throw it out the window. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Jill went out the window, the second story window. Make up a rhyme and say it on time and throw it out the window. The cat in the field, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed and seized and swore. And this ran out the window, the second story window. Make up a rhyme and say it on time and throw it out the window.
The next song, Yankee Doodle, is an example of changing a song from how it was intended. It was originally sung by British soldiers to make fun of Americans. The words of the song meant, "Look at this American goon. He can't afford a horse. He has to ride a pony. He stuck a feather in his hat and thinks he's fashionable. He looks ridiculous, and he's a bad dancer." There were 15 verses making fun of Americans, but the American soldiers decided to change up some of these verses and sing it all the time to annoy the British. It worked. We now present the lower elementary students singing Yankee Doodle, accompanied by upper elementary students on the ukulele and featuring soloists Margaret DeLucky and Henry Robinson.
Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy, mind the music and the steps, and with the girls be handy. I went down to camp along with Captain Good One. Saw the men and boys as thick as Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy, mind the music and the steps, and with the girls be handy. There was Captain Washington upon a talking style and giving orders to and then I guess there were a million. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy, mind the music and the steps, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy, mind the music and the steps, and with the girls be handy.
Spirituals are the songs that were created by African and African American enslaved people as they were forced to live and work in terrible conditions in the American South. Spirituals were a way they could express deep sadness but also hope for the future. Get On Board is one of these spirituals. The enslaved people who sang this song were hoping for freedom to come soon. We now present the lower elementary students singing Get On Board, featuring soloists Adam M., Mila A., and Yasmin K.
Get on board, little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many and more. The gospel trains are coming, I hear them close in hand. I hear the whistle blowing and rumbling through the land. Get on board, little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many and more. I hear the bell and whistle are coming down the curve. He's playing all his screaming powers, making everything. Get on board, little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many and more. Get on board, little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many and more.
How Can I Keep From Singing is a traditional Quaker song about clinging to love, truth, and music in times of trouble. The final verse, written in 1950, talks about people righteously protesting and being arrested for fighting for justice, as well as the downfall of tyrants in power. We hope you enjoy How Can I Keep From Singing, presented by the upper elementary students.
My life goes on in endless song of others' lamentation. I hear the real, the far-off song that hails a new creation.
was a time of great tension and hardship for the American people. It seemed like everyone's father, brother, and son were being sent off to fight to keep our country together. Patrick Gilmore, a band leader from Boston, wrote When Johnny Comes Marching Home in 1863 in the middle of the Civil War. It became popular with Union and Confederate folks alike as people longed for their friends and family to return safely to them. Please welcome our lower elementary students as we perform When Johnny Comes Marching Home, featuring soloist Ripley J., Avani T., and Christian M.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer and the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll feel glad when Johnny comes marching home. The bell will ring with joy, hurrah, hurrah. Welcome home, our darling boy, hurrah, hurrah. Birds and dusty set with roses they will stream the way, and we'll feel glad when Johnny comes marching home. Ready for the jubilee, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give the hero great and free, hurrah, hurrah. The loyal wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll feel glad when Johnny comes marching home. Love and friendship on that day, hurrah, hurrah. Their choicest pleasures then display, hurrah, hurrah. Each one perform some part to fill the joy with warriors' heart, and we'll all feel glad when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer and the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out, and we'll all feel glad when Johnny comes marching home. We'll all feel glad when Johnny comes marching home.
In 1919, the NAACP named Lift Every Voice and Sing as the official Black national anthem. It has been sung at human rights protests, religion service, numerous events in the Black community, and even at sports events. Here are a few words from its writer, James Weldon Johnson. A group of young men in Jacksonville, Florida, arranged to celebrate Lincoln's birthday in 1900. My brother, J. Rosamond Johnson, and I decided to write a song to be sung at the exercise. I wrote the words and he wrote the music. The song was taught to and sung by a chorus of 500 colored school children. Shortly afterwards, my brother and I moved away, and the song passed out of our minds. But the school children of Jacksonville kept singing it. They went off to other schools and sang it. They became teachers and taught it to other children. Within 20 years, it was being sung all over the South and in some other parts of the country. And lines of this song repays me to the elation almost of exquisite English whenever I hear them sung by Black children. Here to perform Lift Every Voice and Sing are the DHMC upper elementary students.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring with the harmony
people know Pay Me My Money Down because of Bruce Springsteen's popular version of the song. What many people may not know is that the song originated as a protest song of the black stevedores in the Georgia Sea Islands. Before machines were created to lift heavy cargo on and off of ships, stevedores would use ropes and pulleys to move cargo around. It was back-breaking work, and many times they would get cheated out of their pay. Ship contains would insist that their ships be loaded or unloaded upon arrival. Then say they would pay the workers the next day, only to slip out of the harbor overnight without paying. Singing Pay Me My Money Down became a way for workers to embarrass their employers into paying them. Please enjoy our upper and lower elementary performance featuring Ryan A., Raina H., Zane A., and Mohammed S.
I thought I heard the captain say, pay me my money down. Tomorrow is our sailing day. Pay me my money down. Pay me, oh pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Soon as the boat was near up the bar, pay me my money down. Knock me down with the end of a star. Pay me my money down. Pay me, oh pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Wish I was Mr. Stevenson. Pay me my money down. I'm thinking that's the word down. Pay me my money down. Pay me, oh pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Pay me, oh pay me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down.
What can you do to bring peace to the world around you? We have some suggestions for you. March for Peace is a beautiful song written by Frank Leto about all the peaceful ways we can be Montessori strong. Join the lower elementary as we sing along with Miss Kirsten.
Step by step, let's march for peace. Come and join us, won't you please? Peace can be a dream come true. We have things we all can do. Be kind to other people. Be kind to other people.
Help someone in need.
Help someone in need.
Uplift lucky stars.
And count your lucky stars.
And maybe one day,
And maybe one day, step by step, let's march for peace.
that the
The Montessori would be pleased. Peace can be our dream come true. And we all can start with you.
maybe one day,
Maybe one day,
yes, maybe one day,
yes, maybe one day,
we'll have
peace.
Women in America fought for the right to vote, or suffrage, for many, many years, until white women gained the right to vote in 1920, and black and minority women gained access to voting in 1965. In 1910, Helen Todd was one of several women who started an automobile campaign for women's right to vote. In her most famous speech, Helen said, "Woman is a mothering element in the world, and her vote will go toward helping forward the time when life spread, which is home, shelter, and security, and the roses of life, music, education, nature, and books shall be the heritage of every child that is born in the country, in the government of which she has a voice." Bread and Roses became a popular slogan for women's suffrage and workers' right, and in 1911, James Oppenheim published a poem that was set to music in 1917. It was sung at workers' strike and suffrage rallies all over the country at the time, and the song gained a resurgence in the 1970s with the rise of feminism. It's a song that speaks to our hearts and souls even today. A suffragist, Rose Schneiderman, said in 1912, "We want the right to live, not simply exist, the right to live as the rich woman has the right to life and the sun and music and art. The worker must have bread, but she must have roses too." Here now is Upper Elementary to perform Bread and Roses featuring Lily C., Olivia B., Bello W., Kai B., and Elliot C.
As we come marching, marching in the beauty of our day, a really darkened kitchen, a thousand new locks gray, are just above the radiance that a sudden sun discloses. For the people hear us singing, bread and roses, bread and roses.
Woody Guthrie was one of the most influential figures in American folk music. His music includes songs such as This Land Is Your Land, has inspired several generations, both politically and musically. Throughout his life and career, in the first half of the 20th century, Woody was a voice for the underprivileged, calling out the massive wealth disparity for our nation and speaking against fascism. In his own words, I hate a song that makes you think that you are not any good. I hate a song that makes you think that you are just born to lose. No good to nobody. No good for nothing because you are too old or too young or too fat or too slim or too ugly or too this or too that. I am out to fight those songs to my very last breath or air and my last drop of blood. I am out to sing songs that will prove to you that this is your world, even if it has hit you pretty hard and knocked you for a dozen loops. No matter what color, what size you are, how you are built, I am out to sing the songs that make you take pride in yourself, in your work. We hope you enjoy our performance of This Land Is Your Land featuring soloists Francesca B., Maya D., Almitra N., Lena C., and Estelle T.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the ocean waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking down the highway, I saw a pony that and the sky. I saw below me the golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and ran down, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sandbars where a diamond dazzles, and I'll go around with the sun. This land was made for you and me. One bright sunny morning, in the shadow of the sea, my lily darling, I saw my hero. As they stood around me, I stood there wondering. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
We Shall Overcome originated as a gospel song written by Charles Albert Tindley of Philadelphia in 1901. It morphed over the years into the version we know today, gaining tremendous popularity thanks to folk singer and social activist Pete Seeger. The song became a protest song of great importance in the civil rights movement, sung by 300,000 protesters at the Lincoln Memorial in 1963, recited by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in his final sermon and sung by over 50,000 people at his funeral just days later. Its importance has spanned the globe, serving as an anthem for the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, the Northern Ireland Civil Rights Association, and a variety of labor and political movements reaching from the Czech Republic to Bangladesh. Deep in our hearts, we do believe that we shall overcome the violence, bigotry, and discrimination that still exists in our world. Feel free to sing along with us as we perform We Shall Overcome.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday.
Yonder Come Day is a spiritual originally sung by African American enslaved people in the Georgia Sea Islands. The song is about looking forward to the hope of a new day, a better future. Before we share this song with you, I'd like to share an excerpt from The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into the one. We will rise from the golden hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. In every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country, our people diverse and beautiful will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flames and unafraid. The new dawn balloons as we free it. For there's always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. The sun is rising in my soul. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is a sweet. The birds are singing underneath my feet. I point my feet on the freedom line. Walking that road, I'm feeling fine. Someday, there's a breaking. Someday, for my soul. Someday, there's a breaking. Sun is rising in my soul. Someday, there's a breaking. Someday, for my soul. Someday, there's a breaking. Sun is rising in my soul.
Thank you for joining us for Winds of Change, a virtual celebration in song. It's time to bring our program to a close, but before we do, there are several folks to be thanked. Thank you to the Dearborn Heights Montessori administrative team for your support of the arts in our school and for your help in making this concert a success. Kay Neff, Laura Springer, Julie Bowolski, Shelley Boatwright, thank you for supporting the music program. Many thanks to Christian Planka for his technological assistance and for stitching this video presentation together. Your skills were an invaluable asset to this project. I would also like to extend gratitude to Ellen Jang of EasyVirtualChoir.com, whose simple and accessible program made me confident we could put on a virtual concert this year. Thank you to all the elementary teachers and support staff at DHMC for your patience, grace, and support over the last 2 months as we pulled this together. Thank you, children, for your beautiful performances. Thank you for your positive attitude and your patience as we worked through this project. You jumped in enthusiastically and rose to the challenge, making this project an absolute joy. And finally, thank you, parents and families. Thank you for supporting your children and our school as we navigate these troubled waters, for supporting the music program, for sending in performance clothes with your children, and encouraging your children to be their best selves. Thank you for being Montessori strong. We are so thankful that you are part of our Dearborn Heights Montessori family. We hope to see you in person for next year's music programs, but for now, join with us from your home as we celebrate our school in song for one final performance. Thank you, and good night.